The Sacramento continue their decade-plus long stretch of not making it into the postseason, and ultimately, I don't think this season is going to be that much different for them. I have hope in the fact that I like De'Aaron Fox, I like Tyrese Halliburton, and I think Davion Mitchell is going to be a very good disruptive bench guard for them who gives them a lot of good defense. But ultimately, there are still a lot of concerns I have about this roster and this team in general. And so I want to talk about those concerns today. I want to talk about why I have hope long-term for the Sacramento Kings, but why ultimately for this season, I don't think they will be a postseason team. That being said, if you do go on to enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Leave a like. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about the Sacramento Kings group for the upcoming season, and let's go ahead and talk about it. Firstly, I want to highlight why I am optimistic about the Sacramento Kings group, what I like about this group for next season, and what I like about this group long-term. And most of it resides in their guards. Their guard group looks very good. I really like De'Aaron Fox. I think he's a future multi-time All-Star, especially if Sacramento ever become good. The only thing that De'Aaron Fox needs to improve a bit more personally is his three-point shooting. I think he still has more upside on the offensive end as well. But if he can get a little bit more consistent with his three-point shot, how are you ever going to stop him? Because he is arguably the fastest player in the league, a very good playmaker, can finish at the rim, can pull up in mid-range, you name it. This guy does it, and he is extremely hard to stop on the offensive end. And ultimately, that athleticism, when he doesn't have to carry as much on offense, will result in him being very good defensively. This is someone who averaged 25 and 7 last year, while getting a steal and a half per game. He is extremely impactful, and by far and away a future All-Star and the best player on this Sacramento team. But let's not forget about Tyrese Halliburton, who had an absolutely brilliant rookie year as well last year, was someone who was never really in the running for Rookie of the Year, but was in discussions, and after Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball was definitely the next up. Taken with the 12th overall pick, it was probably the best value pick of the draft up at this point in time, only a year out. For someone who had an immediate impact, that wasn't one of the top 2 picks. This is a brilliant pick by Sacramento. He can score, play like a middle bit. He's a little poised. He's very comfortable on the court. He can defend for you. He can get in the passing lanes. He's a good man on man. As I said, he can play make and get you some rebounds. He can hit the three off the dribble, off the catch. He is an all-around player, is going to be a very important part of this team. And a team now that is going to have 2 very good guards, guys that can both play the point guard and play make for others, in De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton long-term. Those 2 specifically are what make me the most excited about the Sacramento Kings group, alongside the addition of Davion Mitchell in this 2021 draft. Davion Mitchell, I think, is one of the most NBA-ready players in the draft, being a multi-year college guy coming in at year 23 after having an absolutely brilliant year with Baylor. His impact defensively is going to be absolutely crazy. You can already see it throughout the preseason. He was very impactful in defense on college. He's a very good three-point shooter, and that'll translate, I'm sure, to the NBA rather quickly. He's going to be a great spark plug for this team off of the bench to get some scoring and provide great perimeter defense. But then it gets a little bit hazy. I like Richaun Holmes, but he's not necessarily a young long-term piece. He doesn't fit the timeline as well as some of the other guys. He is only 27, but I don't consider him a core part of what they have moving forward long-term. But he could very well end up being a piece of what they have long-term and is a good center, and it was very good to retain him on a multi-year deal this summer and not lose him as an unrestricted free agent. Harrison Barnes is not a long-term piece due to age and simply due to the fact that he's been involved in trade rumors for a long time, and it's very possible that he does end up getting moved at age 29, approaching the back end of his deal, if I'm not mistaken, within the next couple of years. I don't expect him to be a long-term piece. Marvin Bagley, of course, they drafted so early a few years ago, and things just have not worked out at all. They play him at the 4. He's probably more of a 5. And ultimately, things just haven't worked out. His family's not happy with Sacramento, primarily his dad. Things just have not worked out in any which way, and I don't see him being on this team long-term, whether it's via trade or him just walking as an unrestricted free agent or a restricted free agent when his rookie contract does end. And I'm very concerned about the wing depth on this team just in general for the upcoming season. Marvin Bagley sure is playing at the 4. I don't consider him a 4. He's not a wing in my mind, but they have Harrison Barnes, Mo Harkless, Chimezie Metu, Terrence Davis, if you want to consider him a wing, which I don't. And that's about it. Mo Harkless and Metsu were not ideal guys to be getting regular minutes for depth wings off your bench. Their wings really concern me. Now, they really concern me. Their defense also concerns me. Their defense was very poor last year, which is odd because Rashawn Holmes is fine defensively. De'Aaron Fox is fine. Halliburton's good. But Buddy Hield is one of the worst defensive players in the league. And Bagley at the 4 is not great defensively either. So that'll do that to you in of itself. And when you don't have any elite defenders on your team with a few pretty darn bad ones. And ultimately, part of that's to blame on Luke Walton, which is one of the biggest reasons why I don't believe in this team getting to the postseason. If this team has a good coach, I could make the argument this team can get into the playing games. But ultimately, I don't understand how Luke Walton still has a head coaching job in this league or in Sacramento. Sure, Sacramento's not a job that a lot of head coaches want, but they have some pieces here. There's some promise for them long term. And ultimately, if Luke Walton remains their head coach, they are not going to be able to attain any of those goals that they have because Luke Walton is just not a good head coach. Can he be an assistant somewhere and do a fine job? Sure, but he is not a good head coach. He showed that extremely early on and never really looked any better throughout the course of the NBA season, and I don't expect this upcoming year to be any better. And so ultimately, until they can improve their wings, until they can get a new head coach, and they can work on improving their team defense via personnel and via head coach, I don't see this team being near the playing games as much as I would love to see them there. For the fans' sake, for the organization's sake, and for the fact that I just love a lot of the pieces on this team individually, but as a collective, it just isn't working. But let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about the Sacramento Kings team headed into the 2021-22 season. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And if you want to hear my thoughts on other season previews as we head into the NBA season, then be sure to click the box on the right-hand side of the screen. That being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.